You know what I'm saying? We should like, yeah. Let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. We are back here. Yes, come on now. This week in white supremacy, you know what I'm saying? Welcome back. If you're a repeat watcher, welcome back. If this is your first time, this is This Week in White Supremacy. It's a comedy show. We joke, we laugh, but we provide insight. I'm Jasiri X. I'm the co-founder and CEO.
That was a great disclaimer.
Of One Hood Media, yes. And to my immediate right.
It's a miracle.
The only reason 90% of our audience tunes in for the blessings.
You know, I did realize that when I have my hair natural, we get more viewers on the video.
Oh,
you got you got the lever on. Just give me one of these.
You got the whole Angela Davis.
Yeah, I was just
you can kill a revolution,
but you can't kill a revolutionary. It's actually the other way around.
It's okay. I'm dyslexic. I mess up words all the time. I just, it happens. It is you can't kill the revolution. Kill a revolutionary.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chairman Brother Fred Hampton.
Definitely. Rest in power.
Yeah, what is it? I'm here. Yes, I'm Miracle. What's up? I'm making it. I'm here.
Yes.
Yep,
you're here. You're making it. And everything else.
You know what I'm saying?
And my brother.
It's your boy Trouble in the Last Never Like Supremacy. You already know. Next level Shaman.
Yes.
Niggas love Shaheem.
Yes. I was looking at this comment. It said somebody commented on a YouTube. Miracle is the star of the show! Exclamation point.
I don't think anybody is refuting that.
Yeah, fact.
That's a lie.
We're just here.
That is a lie. But you know, it's kind of funny because all of my friends like y'all.
Oh, that's good.
I mean, because they hear you all the time.
Oh, shit.
I mean, your friends are always with you. The viewers are not always with you.
Oh, okay.
That's a good point.
Speaking of most loved to most hated.
Yeah. Slapping assholes indiscriminately.
Okay. All right.
No.
Is that a pause?
No.
It could be, but we'll let it rock.
Yeah, come on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Indiscriminate.
You know what I mean? Someone phoned and was like, someone left a voicemail on the thing.
Yeah.
And was like, there's a slap contest coming to Philly. Sign your waiver, tough guy. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's the same people who keep phoning here all the time. Like,
wow.
we can see your number on the caller ID.
True.
You fucking idiot.
Yes. We can. But we encourage people to call.
Keep phoning. Yeah.
We do have some blackmail today.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, we got a comment that we shared in the chat.
Oh, that one.
And
yeah.
then we actually have
I actually responded to that.
Some mail. Yeah, I saw your response. It's pretty interesting. But it's finally happened. The day we were waiting for.
Judgment Day?
That Miracle said would never take place. Donald Trump in a courtroom.
We should have had the Terminator 2 theme. Like,
when you woke up this morning.
Yes.
Were you like, today's the day I get to tell Miracle she was wrong?
No.
I feel like you were in the mirror. I'm like, you were wrong.
That's when
you're putting on your shirt. I'm going to tell her she got it wrong.
That's when he's found guilty. But he finally made it. Like, we're here. The trial started yesterday. And if you might have missed some of the Trump trial, so did Donald Trump. He was asleep, supposedly.
But that's kind of gangster, though. To fall asleep during your own trial,
he missed some of it as well. You know what I'm saying? Trump was knocked out.
Sleeping on you niggas.
Yes. And what's interesting is they're saying like his lawyers are trying to extend, like their whole thing is to make it last as long as possible and hoping to draw it out to where if it goes beyond November, I don't know, maybe something else happens. And so supposedly right now they're in like jury selection, and they're saying that's going to take a long time. Supposedly also was talked about was the fact that they want him fined for breaking his gag order. Obviously, Trump does not care about a gag order. He's continuing to talking. In fact, Trump had some comments right before the trial began. Did you want to play some of that video, Farouk?
Looked at all over the world, they're calling. This is a trial that should have never been brought. It's a trial that is being looked upon, looked at all over the world, they're calling. They're looking at it and analyzing it. Every legal pundit, every legal scholar said this trial is a disgrace.
Everyone?
We have a Trump-hating judge.
Not one person said that.
We have a judge who shouldn't be on this case. He's totally conflicted. But this is a trial that should never happen. It should have been thrown out a long time ago. If you look at Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, all great legal scholars, there's not one that we've been able to find that said this should be a trial.
You mean everybody?
I was paying a lawyer and marked it down as a legal expense. Some accountant, I didn't know, marked it down as a legal expense. That's exactly what it was. And you get indicted over that?
Was it a legal expense?
I should be right now.
Or was it a porn star?
In many other states, North Carolina, Georgia, campaigning. This.
He should have a conversation with Wesley Snipes about that.
100%. Trump also said this trial, it was an assault on America.
Wow, I mean, that's a lot. That's
100%. No, it's not. I'm fine with you being persecuted. He said it was political persecution. He called it a witch hunt. The whole nine.
I mean, he's been saying that word witch hunt for a long time.
But, again, like he was not supposed to discuss the judge or the DA or their family, and he went out and basically did
discuss the judge, the DA, and the family.
100%. And so they want him to pay for violating his gag order. Miracle, are there any legal takeaways as our lawyer, Miracle Jones Esquire?
Who's only barred in New York and nowhere else. I really want the judge to do his big one and violate him.
Yes.
That is what I think is going to have to happen to force this man to apply and abide by court order, because he literally just right before, on the eve of trial, was like, I'm going to talk more about this judge.
1,000%.
I'm going to be like, you shouldn't be here. And that is the problem. I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation, because we have talked a long time about how Trump has some murky finances going on. There's been some payments here, some payments there. And traditionally, people have taken responsibility for whatever he has done.
Yes.
So it's going to be very interesting to see him go through this process. And he kind of did have a little bit of a defeatist attitude.
Definitely.
Because I don't think that was the clip we played where he was talking about not seeing his son graduate.
Yes.
And all that type of stuff. It's like, I
didn't know he had a high school age son.
Yeah.
I did
that
not
tall,
know that.
Frankenstein looking child.
Like Lurch from
yeah, definitely.
Oh, we can't help those children.
I'm sorry. He's weirdly tall. I don't know.
Some children are just ugly. This is wow. It's just what it is. I mean, they grow up to be ugly adults.
But yeah, that was the view. But again, you're on trial, you have to be there in person. And so because he has to be there in person, you might not make the graduation because you have to be there in person every day of the trial. That's one of the trial requirements. Why should it be different because you're Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you just answered your own question.
Right. But think about all the people that were wrongly incarcerated, black and brown folks that missed their children's graduation and everything else, right?
Right. Funerals.
100%. And so now because you're Donald Trump, nah, bro, you supposed to be in court. You got to be in court. You should have never paid the porn star. That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was also another piece.
Never paid the porn star.
I mean, maybe you should have paid her if it was
I'm about to say.
some sex work. You probably should have, but
sex work is work.
In the way that you paid her.
You just got to document it properly.
Yes. They said the Access Hollywood tape would not be played. This is, of course, where Trump bragged about grabbing women by their genitalia.
Oh, they're not admitting that in the trial.
Well, they said they said they can talk about it, and supposedly they can they're going to have a woman that he was talking about in that tape testify, but they're not able to play the tape because they're saying that would be prejudicial for a jury. You know what I'm saying? So that's another piece that's kind of interesting.
Just to be a white man with resources in court has to be one of the most empowering things.
That's why he fell asleep. He man, ain't nothing.
I'm good. Ain't nothing
going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's good. Now, one of the things I did want to ask you about Miracle was Republicans, all the MAGA folks are basically calling on the jury to set Trump free, right? So they're basically saying they're calling for people that love Trump to lie their way onto the jury, right? By basically saying there's not prejudicial, or they're not,
there's no preconceived notion.
Preconceived, right, to one candidate or the other, or to one person or the other, that they can be impartial. So they want the MAGA folks to lie, say they could be impartial, get on the jury, and then refuse to convict Donald Trump. Is this legal for them to say? Is this legal for folks to do?
So it was a 50-50. First part, no. Second part, yes. First part, you got to remember you are going to be under oath, so you cannot lie.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So people will go to jail because people will look at your social media, all type of stuff.
Yeah.
For that. The second part is it's called jury nullification, and I love chaos.
Yes.
But basically,
It's a Sagittarius in you. But continue.
But basically, you never have to convict anyone for anything ever. It's called jury nullification, and what that means is, as a juror, you can be like, yeah, that person did it, but whatever. I don't want him to go to jail. I don't want him to have a conviction. Want them to have a conviction, and you just vote to acquit.
Yes.
And so that is basically jury nullification. It's completely legal. I've always said, outside of sexual assault and murder, everyone should, do jury nullification.
Oh, wow.
Even in cases of murder?
Outside of sexual assault and murder.
You didn't hear that part?
Oh, I misunderstood. I'm sorry. Continue.
You weren't paying attention.
I was.
You fell asleep. You did a Trump. You did a Donald Trump.
You
just dozed off real quick.
You can use it as a policy push, right? So when we talk a lot about the sentencing disparities between crack and cocaine, you can be like, okay, until it gets fixed, I'm just going to acquit everyone. Yeah. We talk about legalization of marijuana, so you can just basically acquit everyone for a marijuana charge to force people to change the laws. So it is a tool, and it's legal, and it's right, but no, you cannot lie to get on a jury. What I would say is, if you are a person who's like, Trump Project 2025, you want to find your one normal friend and hope that they get on the jury, because you don't get to self-select onto a jury.
Right.
It's a quite racist, bigoted process of how you get on a jury anyways.
Well, that works in favor of Donald Trump, who's both racist and bigoted. Clay Travis, who I guess is some type of sports commentator, who's a MAGA dude, said, he put this on Twitter. He said, if you're a Trump supporter in New York City who's part of the jury pool, do everything you can to get seated on the jury and then refuse to convict as a matter of principle, dooming the case via hung jury. It's the most patriotic thing you could possibly do.
I just love how they're just changing patriotism to fit their narrative.
So
1,000%.
You have alternates in a jury. And if you are someone who is intentionally trying to not act in good faith, you can actually get dismissed from the jury. So think about, the Young Thug case. And a lot of y'all have this problem where you're on social media and you're texting people. So it's probably going to be very easy to prove you're not acting in good faith. What I would say is go to the trial, get to the jury, vote to not convict.
Yeah.
And then go about your day. You don't have to do these other theatrics, or you're going to find yourself right in Donald's seat.
But what's fascinating to me about, again, like the white supremacy.
Were you just teaching people how to not convict Trump?
No, teach people how not to convict anyone.
She is barred in New York.
She is barred in New York.
I mean,
in prison.
This isn't sexual assault or murder, Farouk. I mean, according to Miracle, Donald Trump shouldn't be going to jail.
She's showing her true colors.
Wow.
I mean, first of all,
MAGA Miracle has returned.
I stand on my principles.
I guess the GOP needed a miracle.
Hey, listen.
But this is what's
first I get people to chant, and now I get them to set them free.
Oh, wow. This is what is wild to me. This is what is wild to me, Miracle, and the rest of us. The rest of us on the podcast. Who cares what our names are?
Miracle and them other niggas. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
New podcast. But
Miracle on the 4 heartbeats.
Oh, shit.
But this is the wild part.
This is what happens, y'all want to give me my sex podcast, and now everyone is
now everybody hates Miracle. Is that going to be the new name of it? So we just saw the death of O.J. Simpson. Right?
Can we have a moment of silence, please?
No, sir.
What?
So he just
what a transition.
No, listen, Miracle, because remember, then it brings back up the trial.
He on the highway to heaven in a Bronco, man.
I don't think the Broncos going that way.
Oh,
the Broncos might be going in another direction.
Oh my gosh.
And this is, I didn't like OJ before all the stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then ESPN's 10-part series about OJ Simpson to me is
the
must
people
watch.
versus OJ Simpson. Yeah.
But that documentary is a must watch if you want to know about OJ. But remember, the whole thing about the OJ trial was people criticizing the jury and felt like that OJ got off because the jury was predominantly black. And it was like, oh, these black people, they don't know nothing. They're dumb. They did this on purpose.
When it was actually Mark Furman who torpedoed that whole thing.
But it was like they purposely wanted OJ to get off. And so that was racism. You were mad. White people was furious.
They was upset at Judge Ito. I remember.
Furious.
Yeah.
But
anti-Japanese sentiments and all
But
that.
now you want white jurors or whoever MAGA people to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You have a comment on this?
My color chart may be over there. But, I think we got to remember they don't want white people in jail.
Yes, correct.
They want the coloreds and the Negroes
1,000%
there.
1,000%.
What about Spicy White? Should they be in jail too?
They want the Spicy Whites in there as well.
Well,
as you saw, they were up there tearing the Capitol, and they got years.
But would Donald Trump be Spicy White?
Remember,
He's white, orange white.
Oh,
remember,
orange white is crazy.
how when people were getting arrested in 2020 and they were saying, "Oh, you're treating us like black people."
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah.
They want jails and prisons. They don't want it with their kid. They want it with all.
They don't want to occupy
That's
them.
that's the difference. No, they don't want to colonize the prison. Okay, they just
so it really is reverse
that's
racism.
Our place, right? It is. It's very much discriminatory against black people.
Yeah.
To sit there and say Donald Trump should be set free, but. That's a conversation for another day.
I guess orange is the new black.
It's also hilarious to me how Donald Trump's life it coincides with Kanye lyrics. You know what I'm saying?
It really does. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Right. To whom much is given, much is tested. Get arrested, guess until he gets the message.
Yeah.
I feel the pressure under more scrutiny. And what he do? Act more stupidly.
I'm serious, nigga. I got money.
Act more stupidly. That is kind of hilarious.
You gotta try to bring that man back into this podcast.
Oh,
Jesus, the good Lord. Jesus
no. But so this is,
you know what?
So a couple of things.
Weak.
Because there was this. Can you pull up that video of the guy talking about? It is amazing.
If Kanye
Who, Chris Sununu?
Yes.
The Vultures or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
We probably should have had him on the podcast. And I would have walked out and protest.
I mean,
but I would have. Could you imagine him and Farouk going back and forth?
Oh, man.
No, because Farouk would be loving everything he said. Farouk be a hype man. He'd be like Jeezy in the song. Yeah, you got it, Kanye.
You know what?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have an interesting take on Donald Trump.
Okay, tell me your take, brother.
Because when I'm seeing this trial, I'm remembering that this man is a multi-millionaire.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how many private prisons he's invested in.
Probably a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
It's would they want one of their investors in the establishment?
Not only am I the client,
I'm also
target
the
audience.
president.
Yeah.
The president.
I feel like maybe this is his long-term plan to, be what was it, undercover boss?
Oh shit!
Wow.
Let's see if these cops are really comfortable.
Yeah.
You gotta test your own supply, right? You gotta test
man.
it, just don't get hooked on it.
It's just how does he get his orange makeup in prison though? That's what I don't want to know. Can you play that Sununu clip, Farouk? And this is what is this like? He's the governor of New Hampshire, and this is kind of their take on Donald Trump in this moment.
Sununu just sounds like a euphemism.
I thought you were talking about Atlanta when she was because I always rock the new.
Oh no, no.
It's some new.
I was like, what are we talking about?
That's how badly America wants a culture change.
So just to sum up, you would support him for president even if he's convicted in classified documents. You support him for president even though you believe he contributed to an insurrection. You support him for president even though you believe he's lying about the last election. You'd support him for president even if he's convicted in the Manhattan case. I just want to say the answer to that is yes, correct?
Yeah, me and 51% of America.
Yeah.
Governor, thanks for your time this morning.
So again, even if he's convicted,
Yeah.
People
even
don't
if they,
care.
I mean, right, that was the whole virtues thing. They were like, he's not going to be a role model for your kids. He's going to say wild, dumb shit. He's going to break laws and do all that, but he can fight the woke mafia, and that's why he's our champion.
I mean, didn't you just, though, cite all the reasons why Donald Trump is exponentially more dangerous than this quote-unquote boogeyman of the woke mafia?
Yes.
He's mishandled declassified or classified documents that directly endanger every single American that you've sworn an oath as you accepted the electoral position of office to defend.
Yes.
You, not only that, you co-signed the shedding of American and patriot blood at the Capitol while they shit on the walls, killed a police officer with the American flag.
Yeah.
All of that is the antithesis of what you stand to defend in this city or in the area of democracy where you sit. And then you're saying it's okay for him to misappropriate funds, rape women, and all this other shit.
Yes.
And you still want that person as president.
Absolutely.
But that's not as dangerous as DEI.
I mean, bro.
Or more dangerous than DEI.
Again, it goes back to
what bizarre world do we live in?
This is how white supremacy works, brother. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Because could you
shocked that
imagine
criminals and colonizers and slavers' descendants want to colonize, enslave, kill more people?
But also, just imagine a black candidate with one felony.
What if Kwame Kirkpatrick
just
decided to run for
one?
president?
Oh my God! How dare you? You know what I'm saying? He's a criminal. He's a criminal. I mean, look again.
Bro, imagine Will Smith as a nominee for just smacking Chris Watt.
Come on, man. Just right. He's violent. He's and not to go back to OJ, but they're still like he's a murderer. He was found not guilty.
Allegedly,
according to them, it's like that didn't matter.
Because I think the son.
I do. I do.
OJ's son?
One of them. Yeah, I'm one of the people that believe his son did it. So this was another interesting piece, right? The New York Times. Oh, you had something to say about?
Yes. I would just say I think it is.
Hold on. Miracle has something to say.
About OJ?
No, just in general, because we have to pass it to Miracle because Miracle has some.
I thought it was very passive aggressive, but I don't know what is wrong with you. But whatever you're going through, me to get over it. Or get over it. Please don't do nothing.
Please don't fire me from the show, Miracle. Please.
Please don't fire me. It's crazy.
I'm me getting fired on my day off. No, because there was a story. I want to say it was in Ohio, but y'all know I be forgetting details. About this old man, he shot and murdered this black woman in his driveway because he thought she was scamming him. Right? I
saw that she was like delivering a pack or coming to pick up a package.
Yes. And it's this idea that people really want to go back to this day of like the Tulsa race riots and being just able to kill black people for whatever reason.
Yes.
Right? They whistled or they're on the wrong side of their tracks, or I just don't like that they have this money. And we keep being like, oh my God, it's so funny that they want Donald Trump. They keep saying they want Donald Trump because they want to go to war.
Yes.
Not because they want, better taxes and better health care. They keep saying they want to go to war. They want to pick up arms. They want to shoot people.
Yeah.
They were talking about succeeding from the Union. It's death. And while we're over here like, oh, this is funny, they keep saying they want to kill us.
Right.
All of us.
And
so I think that we have to be, very mindful of the fact that, Donald Trump is probably going to be inciting a lot of violence.
Absolutely.
These next few months, and we're going to have to figure out how we're going to navigate and engage people who are literally willing to risk their own lives, go to prison, be away from their own children, their own partners, for a man who has actually done nothing for them.
Right. Had done nothing for them.
Harm black and brown people.
Or be like an instrument for their rage and their white supremacy, and like an instrument for that allowing of the violence. I did just want to say the woman's name was Lolita Hall, 61 years old, who was working for Uber, went to collect a package, but some type of person was, I guess, trying to do some scamming. This 81-year-old white man ended up shooting her unprovoked. She didn't do anything. She wasn't violent at all. He was arrested and charged with murder. We'll see that, but like you said, a lot of people are, wanting, and that's really what they want. I mean, they want, when you're talking about war on other Americans, we know that doesn't mean just war. We saw you at the Capitol. We saw. You know what I'm saying? And it is wild how, like, on one hand, they're like trying to get the Capitol rioters off. And then on the other hand, they're like, we're going to ban like peaceful protests in like Louisiana, Texas, and what's the other state? Mississippi. So that is kind of wild. That like, oh, we're fine with you going into the Capitol, and obviously, you know, you all had some food that didn't sit well with your stomach the day before, but going to the Capitol and like doing all types of crazy shit at the Capitol, including violence on police officers. But yet we do a peaceful protest, and the Supreme Court now says that Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas can like ban protests in general. Comments?
I mean, this comes part of the Black Lives Matter protest.
Yes.
Where D. Ray, I think it's McKesson was arrested, and one of the officers is suing him, saying that he, you know, was harmed because of this protest.
Yes.
Now, there is some kerfuffle around this because the protest was not caused or organized by the person that's being sued.
Yes.
And that there was no direct correlation between the organizers and the police officer getting harmed.
Yes.
And so we also have to remember Louisiana, Mississippi, what was the third one? Alabama?
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
These are some of the places where black people live, black and brown people live the most.
And a lot of black people.
Yeah.
Like the most minorities live in the South. I know y'all always think we gotta throw the South away. That is where we are. You know, that's where we got our freedom. That was mostly where people's families were post-slavery. That had just been the easiest place, sunniest, warmest, most like probably temperature-wise compatible to where our ancestors came from. So a lot of people are in the South. And so when we're talking about why do we want to ban protests and direct actions in the South, again, Louisiana just said you couldn't even do appeals for sentencing. Texas has taken away abortion rights. Alabama's building prisons with their COVID money. So much stuff is happening.
Yeah.
They said you want to protest? You want to push back the government?
Right.
Prison. We need people in our prisons. I think Louisiana was the one. I think it also was the same place. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where the guy was saying that's where all they're losing their good workers.
Yes.
Right. So they want people in their prisons.
Yeah.
And if you can criminalize protest, you get to put black people in there.
Absolutely. And you can say like, again, like you would not want to organize a protest because according to what this law is saying, they're saying like if you organize a protest and something happens at their protest or somebody gets injured or whether it be a police officer or somebody at the protest, that you can be held liable as the organizer of the protest. That now you can be held liable, you can be sued, you can be, you know, put in jail simply because you want to bring folks together. So not only is it like stifling, you know, what's supposed to be our constitutional rights to gather and speak out against, you know, what we see as injustices or wrongs, it's also like making you now possibly criminally and civilly liable for anything that happens at a protest. Like you said, D. Ray was not even the person that organizes protests.
Just
so
the most recognizable person.
Right. It should have been thrown out immediately because he wasn't the organizer. He was just there. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I personally love a good autonomous, spontaneous protest where people just show up in areas and just happen to share values and beliefs.
Absolutely.
And ideals. That's what I really like about protesting and organizing.
Right.
Just pop up and, you know, pop out and get stuff taken care of.
But the problem, Miracle, is if you pop out in certain places, the Congress, what is this? Oh, the senator, the Nebraska senator, or Arkansas senator, Tom Cotton, basically says that if you pop out in Arkansas and stop some traffic, he believes you should be dealt with violently.
What he said, I used to battle on the bridge. Loser had to jump.
Did you want to play that clip?
Tom Cotton bugging.
Yes.
I agree with you that you have to get to these criminals early. If something like this happened in Arkansas on a bridge there, let's just say I think there'd be a lot of very wet criminals that have been tossed overboard, not by law enforcement, but by the people whose road they're blocking. If they glued their hands to a car or the pavement, well, probably pretty painful to have their skin ripped off. But I think that's the way we'd handle it in Arkansas. And I would encourage most people anywhere that get stuck behind criminals like this who are trying to block traffic to take matters in their own hands. There's only usually a few of them, and there's a lot of people being inconvenienced. It's time to put an end to this nonsense.
I feel like that is a call for violence.
That absolutely is a call. And again,
people were gluing themselves to things?
Yeah, sometimes like people glue themselves. Yeah, like glue your hand or glue yourself to something.
Fix yourself to be permanent so you can't move. Yeah. So if you want to lock something down, you're able to stay there for a significant amount of time.
Absolutely. But here's D. Ray as this person who literally just shows up at a protest. You want to hold him accountable for violence that happens at a protest that he didn't call. Yet here's a sitting United States senator saying, throw these people over a bridge. Right? Physically assault them, rip their hands up.
Perhaps kill them.
Perhaps kill them. That's how, and encouraging them, calling them criminals just because somebody wants to go out and protest. They're a criminal. So this is a wild, right? The January 6 people, they were just, led astray by some crazy people in the FBI. They're not criminals. Like they should be all let go. They should be all given pardons. But if I block you going into a bridge, I should be thrown off and killed or murdered. And he just like you said, he's encouraging folks to do this. And he will. This is the wild part. This is how white supremacy works, right? He'll receive no consequences.
He's a senator. He'll be fine.
He'll receive no censorship in the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody.
The thing is, there's going to be a lot of people to be like, yeah, Tom Cotton's onto something.
1,000%. Right. When somebody gets ran over at a protest, well, didn't they pass a law that said you can?
That was in Florida.
Yeah, it's in Florida.
Run
you
through
can drive,
protesters.
You can drive through,
So again, I mean, this is where we're at now. And it is about like, we don't care if you cause more violence,
I mean, as long as your violence is
against black and brown folks.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying as long as your violence is politically aligned on the conservative side of the world.
Violence is okay for these folks. And it's very interesting. I mean, me personally, I like to wait till the last minute to get gas. And sometimes, my car just runs out and automatically just stops on the bridge, even though it has flags and things. But be that as it may, I think it's very interesting that a sitting U.S. senator can call for this violence.
Yes.
But if I were to say the same thing about people in Washington,
1,000%,
I would be on them people's list and get a knock at the door.
Yes.
And so it's going to be very interesting to see how people respond, because this is not like the fourth or fifth white passing individual who has advocated for violence and who has been a sitting congressperson or a sitting senator, and nothing has happened.
Right.
And Rashida literally had to be censured for saying "from the river to the sea."
Yes.
Talking about hoping there was a freedom for her people.
Yes.
But all these other people can kill folks, hurt them, harm them, and nothing happens.
Right. And again, in the same day that Tom Cotton says this about protesters, a report comes out that says Cotton among the GOP lawmakers who backs the defendants in the January 6th case. So clearly this is about the issue that's being protested. It's not about protesters. It's that you don't like when black and brown people or people are advocating for issues that you don't agree with. And so if it's, trying to save Donald Trump, who lost the vote, and trying to prevent him from or make him stay in office, you're cool with that.
This makes me think about something, because when I was in junior high, I had a teacher who taught our history class, and he said that the Bill of Rights, or the amendments, were called amendments because they could be changed at any time. And he said, so it's just interesting that all of these elected officials are finding caveats and loopholes to fit the amendments, which I believe protects your right to protest, to be, gray whenever they deem fit. Right?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, listen to this comment. It says, if allowed to stand, this is about the January 6th. They're talking about they got too long of sentences. Like their sentences were too long. It says, if allowed to stand, a lower court's decision will only reward and incentivize politically motivated uses of ill-fitting criminal statutes with harsh penalties. Okay, so wait a second. So people that went to the Capitol and did this should get less time. But if I protest at a bridge in Arkansas, I should be killed.
Yes, that's exactly what they're saying.
Pretty much,
I'm glad that you understand that now.
I mean,
Are there any more?
Insane.
Do you have any more stupid questions?
You have a comment, Trouble?
I just think it's wild that they think it's harsh to sentence people who went to the Capitol with the intent to kidnap and potentially kill
the vice president.
Come on, man. They built a fucking thing to hang
They built a
this
gallows,
man.
my nigga.
Yo, one dude came with mad bombs. They came with guns.
Someone actually said my only regret. Someone actually said my only regret is that I didn't have more guns and bombs.
But we can't block.
I only have 2 hands. I cannot shoot more. If God only seen fit to give me 4 arms,
man,
I could have more firearms.
But we can't block a bridge without Tom Cotton getting on his high horse and saying we deserve violence against
1,000%. Yes,
that's wild to me. Man.
I mean,
do you have any more stupid questions?
I mean, it's crazy, and in the midst of all of this,
yes.
Where's Clarence Thomas?
Well, Clarence's parents have a very good marriage. This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence.
It's so funny because like 95% of our audience is not going to get that reference.
No, but
whatsoever. You know what I'm saying?
Makes me happy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll laugh at it.
Clarence's parents got a real good marriage.
So the Supreme Court was going over these rulings yesterday. Apparently, Clarence Thomas is nowhere to be found. He didn't show up.
He's
for
in
work.
the Garden of Evil with Harlan Crow and all his Nazi regalia.
No, he's on an island somewhere getting 5-star treatment.
Is he on Epstein's Island?
Oh.
He's somewhere.
He probably
got flued out. You know what I'm saying? Like he's known to do. He's on somebody's yacht. You know what I'm saying? Like getting the 5-star treatment so he can go back and rule in their favor. But does this mean anything that like Clarence Thomas didn't show up? They said he could have did it on Zoom. He didn't do it on Zoom. Does this mean anything, Miracle?
I don't know. Clarence said he had better things to do, better fish to fry. But he returned today. Which
he did.
Like,
damn.
No,
is he more tan?
I don't know.
Does he smell like a vacation?
Somebody was like, "Come on, man, with the big sandals, just do us one favor."
Oh shit!
And I was like, I don't think you can say that on the internet.
Wow.
But he
man with the big. I just got that.
What man with the big? I don't get it.
Yes, I'm talking about Jesus.
Oh,
come on, Jesus.
The man with
come on, Jesus.
And so
Jesus be a fence to prevent this man from coming back into the Supreme Court. Yes.
I already know I'm going to the Ninth Circle, so it's fine. But he was just like, I'm not going to come to work today. And everybody was like, where's Clarence?
Yes.
And then they just did all these horrible rulings.
Yes.
And then he was like, yeah, I'm back. I'm doing whatever. And I just got to admire this man who was basically like, my position's bought and paid for.
100%. Yes.
I'm getting yachts. I'm getting campers.
Yes.
I'm getting exclusive trips.
He said, I'm here for life. Like, you got
my mother's house is getting paid for. My nephew's school is getting paid for. Like, all of that.
You could argue Clarence Thomas is, I guess, the smartest person in his position ever?
I mean, one of the most corrupt, probably.
He's like a true welfare queen, and nobody
1,000%.
Him and George Santos, the scam god, man.
But again, Clarence Thomas is basically saying like, I'm for sale.
Yes.
And if you have billions of dollars and yachts and planes and you go to expensive places, like come holler at me. He's like the Supreme Court Justice Instagram baddie. I mean, like, this is what this man is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's open. He's not even hiding it no more. And nobody does anything.
And then his wife goes out and recruits people to
shit on walls and at the Capitol.
Like
absolutely.
I would say they sound like the worst swingers ever.
She ensures that he has a job because then she goes out and recruits all these people to bring these cases so then he can rule on them.
Yes.
It really is a long-term conspiracy.
1,000%.
Is it a conspiracy or is it just a plan that they have out in the open?
I mean, it's
two people working together with others. It's a conspiracy.
Do they have the best marriage ever?
Or the worst? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's your metric?
Political marriage.
Yeah, really. Like,
your debt's paid off. You have retirement. You go trips whenever.
He don't have to worry about being impeached. He don't have to worry about being indicted. Like he's really just insulated from any type of persecution.
I mean,
outside of the court of public scrutiny,
he's on the court, right? And again, he basically was just like, "Yeah, I did it. So what?"
Is he the most powerful politician? Is the judge a politician technically?
I mean, between him and Alito, I think
and who also is bought and paid for.
Right, yeah.
I think Alito is more braggadocious with his and goes on like international speaking tours and brags about taking away people's rights. Whereas Clarence is just like, I'm just going to be quiet. 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah. Yes.
And you're just going to get shocked.
Yes.
Every time this stuff drops.
Yeah.
But it is very fascinating that he has been able to have such a polarizing career and then just be like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating to watch, how, again, it's like saying watch how whiteness works, which was one of D-Ray's things, but in this black man who has like basically dedicated himself to upholding white supremacy. So like, even if you are black or brown, if you're upholding white supremacy, there's a lane for you. There's a place for you. Like you mentioned George Santos. There's a place for you. Yeah.
Clarence Thomas looked at OJ and was like, I'm going to show you how this is done.
Oh, shit.
Exactly right. OJ drove so Terrence Thomas could fly.
Wow.
Come on, brother. OJ drove so Clarence Thomas could fly. And fly he does, brother. All over the world he does.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Oh, that might be comment of the year. Oh my days!
Lord have mercy.
I don't know where we go from there. But,
well,
we go to hell.
This is where we go, Miracle. This is where we go because we have, again, we had these segments, and we at one point we had like different segments. If you're a long time watcher of the show, and one segment we haven't done for a long time is our Karen of the week. Ooh. Right? Are you all right, Farouk? Farouk is not.
Keep going. Just keep going.
So we have a Karen of the week. Well, we need Farouk to play this. We have a Karen of the week, and this Karen is like many white people who were very angry. Like, how dare Beyoncé, a black woman, produce a country album? And so when she first started releasing country music, they didn't want to play it on country music stations. White people erupted. Although it's still the #1 album in the country, it was widely, critiqued as one of the best albums of the year and possibly will finally win Beyonce Album of the Year. White people were upset that, a black woman stepped into like country music, because although we created country music, like we created every other music genre as black people, to them country music is like white. So this was a student at Indiana State University.
Asha Blanton.
Yes. Speaking about Beyonce's album, can you play that, brother?
But if you're black, you're not country. I don't care. And I wish I meant that in the nicest way. But babe, I know you were raised in the country, or your grandparents were, I guess, your great granny and grandpas, but they was picking, okay? They wasn't planting. Just keep that in mind. They wasn't making money. They was getting sold for money.
Yes.
You ain't country.
All right, you can pause that right there. Yes. We're not. Yes. Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So she says, I'm sorry, but if you're black, you're not country. And then she basically says, y'all might be from the country or your great-grandparents were from the country, but they was picking. They wasn't planting.
They was being sold.
They wasn't making money. They was being sold for money. And so,
wow.
Obviously, this created a backlash, and people found, the internet's going to find you. You say some wilds. I mean, you would think people would learn by now.
What did she post this on?
She posted on TikTok. And so.
And okay.
People found her. They found out she went to Indiana State University, and people started to call for Indiana State University to do something. Indiana University released a statement basically saying that, they said that her staff immediately worked with the vice president of student affairs to identify the student, communicate directly with student leaders, and strategize how to prioritize student well-being and safety. One way would be to kick her ass right off the campus.
Yeah,
that would be the main way. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, they, put the statement out saying that they were taking the incident seriously.
I mean, what type of investigation do you have to do at this point?
Exactly.
Like, you were caught you recorded yourself in 4K.
You recorded yourself in 4K. And this is the wild part, is that she's a nursing student. And
that actually is the field. I would say, that is the field with the highest amount of racist people next to education and police officers.
Right. And I think last week was like Black woman.
Black Maternal
Health Week.
Yeah, yep.
And we have to talk about that because of how dangerous it is for Black women to even have children.
Absolutely.
Going to the hospital primarily because of white nurses like
Just
Asa.
like this,
that are triggered by Beyonce singing a country song. You know what I'm
She
saying?
was so, I was not expecting that video. I didn't watch it, so like, Jesus Christ, that was disgusting.
Yes.
I grew up, my dad would play like John Lee Hooker and Howlin' Wolf and a bunch of other like Black country Southern artists, like on the, not radio, but we call it the little disc.
The turntables,
you know. And so I always knew that Black people were involved in country, so it doesn't really shocked by this. Like if you go even to any of the country museums, there are Black people like in the museums and on the walls and stuff. So I'm very confused of why people are reacting to Beyonce's album in this way. Thanks. And it would also think about if you're country, you're outside, you're playing the banjo, you're picking things, you're picking the instruments.
That's what she was saying.
Picking
the instruments. Okay, she's talking about a different type of picking.
That people people would have created a music. They would have done something with the instruments around them to entertain or to create community or have communal gatherings. So I just don't even understand the logic of saying, "Oh, you're not country," because.
Well, again, I think it's that thing of like country music. You know, when you look at like music, like, you know, Black people dominate like most of the major music markets. You know what I'm saying? Even now, where rap music being the number one music genre in the world, right? And so I think like for white people, it's like country is like their little place where they can go and have their little awards and not look at a lot of Black people. And so now here comes the biggest, arguably the biggest pop star in the world, you know what I'm saying, making a country music song, and she's Black, and it's like, oh, now these Black people are going to come over here, and she's going to inspire more. You know, she brought on Black country music singers onto her album. She was highlighting like the current Black country music folks that inspired her, sending them flowers and doing other things. And so I think it's for white people, it's like that thing of like, make America great again. We want to go back to a world where you only saw white people on the TV when you turned it on. You know, all the sports, Black people wasn't allowed that. You had the Negro Baseball League. You wasn't in our shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and it's like that time where like everything was homogeneously white, and seeing Black and brown and other people in these spaces, seeing, you know, women in these spaces, seeing queer people in these spaces, is just triggering to these white people that just want it all to themselves.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to throw a little bit of shade, this is why we have to keep talking about race.
Yes.
This is why we have to keep including race in the conversation, because Beyonce can't even make a country album without people bringing up her race.
Yes.
And without people bringing up the fact that maybe her great-grandparents were enslaved. And this is why we need critical race theory.
Yeah.
This is why we need,
Great point.
you know, the 1619 Project.
Yeah.
So that people know truly where all of this shit that they enjoy really comes from.
And then it's like, but you colorblind. So on one hand, you don't see race until Beyonce make a country music song.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, like, you can't get away from race. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit.
It is pretty fascinating. Well, we do, I did want to move into our blackmail segment, because we do have a blackmail segment. We received a comment.
Mail time, mail time, mail time.
Oh, that's nice.
You didn't watch Blue's Clues?
He was giving
Blue's
you,
Clues was
your
actually-
vocals.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I'm giving you.
Oh, thank
giving
you.
your.
That's from Blue's Clues, though.
So this comment, our first comment in blackmail was
we have two.
We have more than one. Yes.
Oh,
we
yes.
have a couple. We have a couple. DeWitt Shank.
Yeah.
Okay.
DeWitt says, I watched One Hood Media Network show This Week in White Supremacy tonight. I was appalled.
Good. I love it. I love that for you.
I was appalled at the ignorance demonstrated by the panelists. They were unable to get many of the facts correctly for the stories they reported on. Not only were they factually wrong so much of the time, their speech was ungrammatical in the most simple and elementary way. Well, I mean, Farouk has told you he couldn't read.
I mean, I try to. I give you niggas a disclaimer all the time. I don't know the words good. I don't know talking good like you and me.
It says, and their manner of dress was unimpressive.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Dang, he said you ain't got no drip.
You
niggas wear shirts because you can't dress no more.
Shit.
No drip. And he said, hey, hold up. If these are the kind of people your network wants to set forth as role models for young black people, then heaven help them. They will continue to be marginalized and unsuccessful. The ghetto is not something to strive for.
Wow.
Oh my God.
What was the nigga who said God told him to run for mayor of Pittsburgh? It's probably him in disguise.
So any comment on DeWitt, the ghetto, anybody want to comment to DeWitt? But the ghetto is not something to strive for. And again, like
Listen, I moved out the ghetto, but I'm never above it. So you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, people say I'm usually bougie, so for someone to say, you're ghetto,
yes,
it's like, okay,
I don't
know what I give off, So it's just like,
again, I mean, we give off like, and the main thing we give off is
you can't talk, you can't dress.
Yes.
What are you doing? He said, why are you here?
What's that? Your mom know nobody likes you and everybody know what's that?
What was it?
You be like, so I love my baby mama.
Yeah. Whack, stupid.
Yeah.
Bro, the kid ain't yours, and everybody know your old man say you stupid. You be like, so I love my baby mama. I'll never let her go.
I would just listen to DMX all day yesterday.
It's so funny. But again, like, come on, man.
What's the next one?
We're unable to get facts correctly. We're literally like reading from stories from CNN and the New York Times.
Yeah,
so that's not correct. Our speech was ungrammatical in the most simple, elementary way. Yeah, you're gonna have to come with some.
Actually, do it. The most simple, elementary way
is ungrammatical.
Simple and elementary. You don't need two words two adjectives to describe the same thing twice.
And that's from a nigga that can't read.
I mean,
all right, take that.
I mess up words all the time.
And then to do it, it's like, bro, it's do it, right?
Yes.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Okay, so I'm gonna need him to like get offline and get inside of a book.
Yes.
Because it's not our fault that black people are marginalized.
Correct.
That's all I have to say to him.
Or unsuccessful. And then it's like, and again, but that goes back to that thing of like, all this is what they call respectability politics, right?
1,000%.
You want us to wear suits. You want us to wear ties. You want us to behave in a certain way. You want us to talk in a certain way because this is the manner of black people you're used to. And guess what? We had years of all that, and we still in the condition we are right now. Facts. So obviously, it wasn't the fact Martin Luther King had a suit on. He got shot. You know, he was articulate.
They was whooping them niggas' asses in 3-piece suits.
1,000%.
They was shooting them and stoning them and hitting them with water hoses and all sicking dogs on them. And they was dressed to the nines. So I don't want to hear that bullshit.
1,000%. So obviously, that's not the case. Obviously, it's something else. It's like you said, systemic, institutional, and structural racism that you don't want to account for because it benefits you, right? And so obviously, so again, like, but we're the number 2 show coming for the number 1 spot.
That's right.
On Free Speech TV. And why do I say we're coming for the number 1 spot? Well, how about this comment? Hold on, where's the comment? It's called Another Fan Letter. Okay. This is from Sheila Goldmaker. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Just a brief and heartfelt fan letter from a 90-year-old Jewish lesbian feminist.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
To let you all know that you are my favorite program on Free Speech TV. Come on, man. Learn so much from hearing your weekly discussions and urge you to continue rapping the truth to all of us. Grateful to have found you. Thank you for your honest assessment of this week in white supremacy. Come on, Sheila.
Let's go.
Come on, man. So we got the 90-year-old Jewish lesbian fan base hooked up.
I'm with it.
We got it locked down.
I'm here for it. Yeah, and you know what? If you could do me a favor and make me some delicious latkes, That'd be great because I love latkes.
What? Comment, Miracle? Comment?
Did she offer to make you food?
No, she did not. She did not. She just said.
I'm saying maybe she could send some if you love some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She
support us. Support us with food.
Sheila, how about this? If you watching this,
can't just get in the kitchen.
If you watching this, Sheila, send us another email
to a feminist.
Right.
He don't even mean it like that.
He told the feminist to get in the kitchen.
I did not mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
Shit, that's crazy.
I guess the patriarchy is strong within me.
It's a microaggression.
The patriarchy
and a cultural misunderstanding and alignment.
Hey, feminist.
I didn't. What was her name, Sheila? Sheila, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, hey,
get in the kitchen.
This is a foot in the mouth moment for me. Just like that.
Oh my God.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry for the way it was interpreted.
Go make me some latkes.
He said intent over impact.
It did sound crazy. I'm sorry. I'm walking it back like J. Cole did his diss.
Oh my God.
He said maybe in the future could we please possibly break bread together.
Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Let's break bread together. You know what I mean? Bagels, lox, and capers, all that. You know what I mean? Some schmear.
Oh man!
Like,
but Sheila,
I would maybe, as we're walking it back, think about possibly.
Yes, maybe she likes other foods. maybe.
I mean, I'm just saying we can go to kosher deli. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying, but if you send her a letter and she said, "Yeah, we'll get some fried chicken next time."
I'm not a big fried chicken fan, but you know,
fried chicken, watermelon, some extra Kool-Aid.
I would absolutely do the watermelon with you, Sheila.
Oh
yes.
man,
cornbread and chitlins too.
I love some cornbread.
So Sheila, if you can send us another email if you're watching, so we can send you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We love to, send you a shirt, send you something, and we encourage other people to email us at.
But don't talk about me though.
Email us. I mean, they're going to talk about the star of the show, Miracle. Come on.
Oh my God.
Email us
please
at
stop putting those comments on the please.
info@onehood.org. That's the number one, info@onehood.org. We also appreciate the support that we're getting from people buying our merchandise. If you want to buy our merchandise, go to onehood.org and look under new merchandise. That's the number one, hood.org. We got some new merchandise coming down. We just ordered a bunch of stuff because y'all have been hitting the merchandise store, and we greatly appreciate that. And we got a lot happening before the next show coming up next week. We got
way too much.
Way too much happening.
Okay, hold on.
Because our primary election is April 23rd. And we do a lot of civic engagement work. I know we talk a lot of stuff on here. We make a lot of jokes, but we do a lot of work in the community. And so we have a lot of civic engagement stuff coming down the line. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be like knocking on folks' door to encourage folks to vote. We'll be in the Monview. We'll be in Heights. Monview Heights this Saturday.
From 2 to 4.
From 2 to 4. We're going to have a food truck for free. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have our DJ, the champion, DJ QRX spinning. And so if you're in Monview Heights or that surrounding area, come join us there. That's going to be really fun. And then we'll also be with Black Voters Matter bus on Monday, which is the 22nd. And we'll be on the north side in front of Carmi's. Carmi's is a very well-known Black-owned restaurant in Pittsburgh. We're going to be giving away free dinners alongside many other organizations in Pittsburgh that are doing civic engagement work. Shout out to all of those folks. And then we're encouraging you on the 23rd to come to go vote. In your primary, the power of voting local is having community control, and oftentimes those politicians' decisions affect you even more. So we're encouraging people to get involved in that. I didn't know what that was, but
I don't know what that was either.
Any other miracle?
I was just going to say April 20th, I'll be performing at Tripperfest at One Up Skate Shop. It's going to be really dope. We're going to have a lot of really dope performers. Me and NLS Ron are going to tear the stage up. Come through. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very dope.
We got 420 happening. I don't think we have anything for 420, but we'll probably push something out.
Tripperfest for 420.
Tripperfest 420.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, because we legalized it. See, I wish I would have known because my brain was like, I know 420 is coming up. You also, on top of that, we got Earth Day, which is 4/22. There'll be a lot of organizing around Earth Day, so we can talk about how we can be better with the Earth, how we can support the Earth, be better stewards of the Earth. I feel like we have some other stuff happening, but I think this may be on the C4 side of things.
Yeah.
And then, again, we're going to get out and vote. There's some other stuff. My brain
it's a lot.
We have a bunch of events. Oh, we have a huge canvas Sunday morning and on Saturday happening. So again, if you want to come out, knock doors, get out to vote. For some of us, we running our own different campaigns. So again, you want to get and push stuff out because your vote is your power. Your vote is an opportunity.
Yes.
To build the liberation conditions needed for success in the future. We got
yes, and we also want to shout out to Black Thought, Tariq Trotter, who came Sunday for our People, Politics, and Power series. Was very forthcoming. We'll have that interview for you, that video out for you soon. It was really dope. And everybody that came out made it a sold-out event, made it a great event. Everybody got a book, The Upcycle Self. And speaking of hip-hop artists writing books, we have another White Pages that is from another...
One of my favorite rappers of all time,
absolutely.
Raekwon the Chef, always cooking up some marvelous shit with his story... the story of Raekwon and the Wu-Tang Clan from staircase to the stage. It's kind of like I don't know.
From staircase to stage to minimum wage.
Come on, man.
It's going to be an article in Rap Page. Yeah, that was a famous Raekwon song. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, so large up to the chef. I would love to get the chef here.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
that would be really dope.
On my days, come on, man. I would fan the fuck out. But
I want Method Man.
Yes,
I bet you do.
To come here. He's
Where?
a happily married man. And I just want Method Man to sit at the table.
Yes, Method Man will be, and we hopefully we'll have some hip hop stuff. We did the locks last year. We're working on this year, so hopefully we'll make an announcement soon. We got Patonka coming up in May, so we got a lot of stuff coming down the pike at One Hood. So just stay tuned in. Stay watching us on Free Speech TV. We want to, we're 2 now. We want to get to number 1. You know what I'm saying? And
coming
from that number 1 spot. Yeah.
I think it's the first week in May. I got 40 under 40 for the new Pittsburgh Courier. So
yes.
Go to their website. You can get tickets for that.
Oh, we got to get a table. We got to get a One Hood table so we can celebrate the star that is Miracle Jones.
Okay,
so if you want to see Miracle Jones next week,
about his tires being slashed, we'll understand why it happened.
Wow.
Because he started.
We'll see y'all next week with This Week in Miracle Jones and Friends.
Ridiculous.